True, 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 true. No, no, no. Overs. But see, that's the starting point of us all. That's all of our starting point. That's the starting point for anyone who is on the road to truth. That you recognize first of all that your former life, that the life that we've been living, you understand, is a delusion, is an illusion. We was lied to even know the truth if it smacked us in the face, and yet the truth was right in front of our eyes. But we've been given, an example I just mentioned to you, was America the new world for the American Indians? Did the Arawak Indians in Jamaica view the Jamaica as a new world for them? No, it wasn't a new world for the people living over here in the so-called new world. It was their world. It was their old world. They've been here for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. But when the white boy came, he came with his own prospectus. You know what they call prospectus, his own perspective. He said this was a new world for him. In the same way, we were born into this illusion, but now that we've come to the consciousness of Rastafari, now we recognize the gifts to us of His Imperial Majesty. You understand? Even the land grant in Ethiopia. Some people ask us and say, is the land still there? Do we still have land? Where's the land going to go? Even if other people settle on land that's our land and we can prove that land was given to us by His Imperial Majesty, you understand? Like the Bingi, Not Bingi song says, them I have to move. When Rastafari get ready, them I have to move. You understand? So they're going to have to move off of that land. So we need to start to promote Africa and Ethiopia in particular as our new world. It's our new world because for most of us, we don't know that world as our old world. We know, like you said, we know the Caribbean. We know America. We know England, parts of Europe maybe, and other places as our new world. Freak the African, so-called African perspective. They want to come over to America. You understand? They want to live the Cosby sort of life. So let them. I'm not stressed anymore when Ethiopians want to come to America and give up their Ethiopian citizenship to become American citizens. Let them. I just wish they could sit down and give me the deed to their Ethiopian land and house. When they do that, I would give them the deed to whatever I got.
Yeah, but we can put it to the restaurant. As a matter of fact, when I next go to the Ethiopian restaurant and get some food, I'm going to ask you about that.
For real. If you know people who want to come over here,
that I'm friendly, you know, they know I'm in there buying food. I ask them some things. And I tell you something, hey, you want to get me then at Addis Ababa restaurant in Finsbury Park over here in London, and at the first time you see Ethiopian young ladies who were doing the rap, but thankfully they weren't culturally dressed. But you know what they were actually doing the American MTV woman shaking up her booty about the place now.
Yeah, they're a bunch of followers. Come on, this is the most beautiful time in our whole experience for more than 400 years. Everybody is caught up by the deception life the delusion life and illusion life that we were living post-traumatic slave disordered, right? Everybody's caught up by that. We're now trying, some of us are so stupid, we're upset because some of them are caught up by the life that we were living. You understand?
Yeah.
Instead of taking advantage.
I'm going to start them because I say it's young youth. Them don't see the excitement of what America put them. They have them cable and them satellite. I mean, and we're in the 2010 now, and you know things. They got their mobile phone same way. They got the internet, and you know, and I'm not scolding them, but you know, it's just the first time I ever see them.
No, I'm not scolding them either.
They were still holding, and it wasn't. You know, and I just pray say it doesn't reach that depriving state where I know so well how we've already seen how, you know, I mean, how the West has the black woman within music, within certain music, how the black woman is just trashed out there.
Yeah, but you know what, you're right about that. But you know what I noticed, even for a lot of I sisters and the conscious sisters, until righteous Ethiopian, righteous Rastafari woman decide to study up, school up, and speak up. You understand? We as Rastafari, as Ethiopian Hebrew males, we can't really do anything about that because we're living in an artificial paradigm. We're not in our own land. We're not empowered to change any of those things. You know why our women don't respect us, brother? You understand? You know why they don't respect us? Even when they love us and they like us, why they don't have a deep respect? Because the reality is, the white boy, the so-called white supremacist.
We not a power around here, so.
Yeah, but what did the white supremacist do that caused him respect even up to this day? Even if he's a Batiman today, he still has a little bit of respect because he took a whole land from peoples. He subjugated more than one people. He put his blonde-haired, blue-eyed ass up on a piece of stick of wood and say, "This is Jesus. Worship ye him." He changed the paradigm of God, and then on earth he enforced that image, that illusion. And we as black males, unfortunately, looking at our history, we fell for it. You understand? We were subjected. So the only redemption for us.
No, but I mean, no, it's not so much because I mean, really, true. In essence, I mean, the foundation of when that started, really, we were brutalized into that acknowledgement. I mean, because we were torn apart. If you don't acknowledge that, I mean,
yeah. But hold up, brother.
And, you know, tear you in front of everybody.
Yeah. I hear that.
In our genes, and we are the ones who have managed to break out of that.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear about what happened to us. I know. I'm not saying I know the history better than you, but I've gone through diligent research about that. I always what you said, but check this out. We were the lost sheep of the house. We were Israel. We disobeyed God. God told us in Deuteronomy 28 what's going to happen to us. So boo hoo on us. He said if we don't listen to him, we're going to be the tail and not the head. So it should not surprise us today that we're the tail and not the head. Why? Is it because white man is so strong? He's so divine? He's so God? No, it's not. He's like a vulture that took advantage of a dead carcass. You understand? We was a dead carcass and he took advantage of us. You understand? And not even of us, but of our, excuse my language, but dumb-ass, disobedient ancestors. Now, we want to lament, we want to get the white man to, you know, you saw the movie a couple years ago, it's called The Crying Game. You ever seen that movie, The Crying Game?
No, but I mean,
there's this movie called The Crying Game. It's a weird movie.
I'm gonna write it down. The Crying Game.
Yeah, The Crying Game and everything. But we want to play this crying game. And I see a lot of black men, we keep doing this. This is another thing I really want to speak out forcibly, but in the spirit of God. You understand? Against. We have this kind of like, I see it among a lot of Rasta men, a lot of man of mine that's trying to be strong in Rastafari and Haile Selassie. Whenever we talk about slavery, what happened, it's all this boo-hoo. Look what the white man did to us. Look what the white man did to us. Look how he treated us like that. And we want to avoid the plain and simple fact that we rebelled against our God. We didn't accept Christ when he came with his nappy hair and his Ethiopian complexion. But now when somebody has a whip, right? Somebody has a whip and shackles and puts a Michelangelo painting of a Jesus or a Cesar Borgia's painting of a Jesus and beats us with a whip. You understand? Notice, not all slaves submitted to white supremacy. Can you imagine how many black men, when they tried to brutalize the black men's daughters and wives, how many of them were killed? Can you imagine how many of us, men like us, refused to sit around and humble to that, and we tried to take off the white man's head and they killed us? But now imagine this. Imagine when it got to those niggas that would not die, would not fight, those cowardly punk asses amongst us. And then now think about this. Some of us may be descendant from those cowardly punk ass Africans that refuse to be like the other black men that refuse to submit to white supremacy. So now we have to remember that we have this in our genes, in our DNA. You understand? Which is greater than us, because most of us can't even control our thoughts, much less control our DNA. So the only redemption for us is the light of Rastafari, is the new birth. You understand? Is to be born again, to repent, to have a change of mind. So in this 2010, the repentance and the change of mind is Africa is our new world. We have to, by hook or by crook, sell everything we got and get ready to invest in Africa as a new world for us. So what? There's Africans there. There were Indians in America too. You see, the most powerful. Look at everything that white supremacy and the devil really trick white supremacy. You know, white man has been deceived. The white man has been deceived to even think that he's supreme, being recessive gened. You understand? Being a recessive gene, clean leper. White